Spine looks horrible. Oh man. Some real negative beta. Finally get to see it. Ooh, 15-minute. Let's go. All right. That's going to be the best that I could do, because I'm just trying to figure this thing out. This is the first time I'm actually going ahead and doing a live stream, so I'm not sure who's watching, not sure who's in here, but I'm figuring it out as I go along. Have a little conversation, go over a couple of charts, see what's happening today. All right, let's see. All right, AMC looking like it's ready to break out this level. 583 is going to be a huge level of resistance here. Starting to pick up some volume slightly here. Sitting on top of a positive order block, but right now just hitting resistance. Let's see here. Yeah, plenty of room to break out. Just going to need some positive volume, but SPY is actually finding a little bit of resistance itself. Bounced off the 404 level and looks like it's most likely going to come back down just a few. A little bit of a change of behavior here with this large green candle, a buying pressure that came in, but I think it's going to be short-lived. I'm really thinking this is going to most likely push back down to 403. Charge my phone. I'm gonna need that. All right, let's see. There's no charger. Ape got a lot of selling pressure. Okay. Looks like AMC is about to getting ready to move. All right, let's see. Try this out. Manage my calls. Let's see what else is out there. And that's the 5-minute chart. Okay, let's see what we got. Plus, I'm up 50%. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Let's see if I can handle all of these different movements. And I give a lot of respect to the people that actually go ahead and do this regularly, because there's a lot of different things to handle while trying to handle your portfolio and not take an L. So let's see here. I'm going to try and post this real quick. See if I can get a couple people in here. Just say what's up. Let's see. YouTube. I'm going to share this link real fast on Twitter. Say what's up to a couple people, see what opportunities are out there, go over a few charts while we wait for AMC to start making this move, because I'm really expecting to start to see some movement shortly here. I see the market starting to turn around slightly, but I don't think it's ready to start to completely reverse. 403 is a huge level to keep, or else this thing is going to start barreling, continue to barrel down. So I see 403 being the spot where we're going to hit most likely before starting to make a turnaround. And double check the volume in a little bit. Let's see here. How do you share a link? HYG. Let's see what we got here. Let's see, how do I go on? All right. I'm going to go and give this a try real quick here. What's going on, everybody? Whoever's in this room right now, I'm going to go over a couple different things, getting ready for this run on AMC. All right, we set up right now. Look at the SPY. Things are dropping pretty quickly on this thing. First time giving this a shot, so bear with me. Trying to go ahead and keep a look at what's happening with my own portfolio while trying to just be with a couple folks here that want to see about how this thing moves, what happens throughout the day. But definitely look like we're making some strides here. Up right now about 588. Setup is there. Everything is looking real lovely right now on AMC, and I'm thinking this thing is going to start to move. Now, I did mention this on Twitter. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably noticed that I did go ahead and put that I expect this thing to be a slowed down move. There are a lot of different resistances that we have here. Bless up, Chef. All right. I'm getting the hang of this already, it seems like. So let's see how we can make this work. I don't know if anybody's in calls right now on AMC, but I think this thing is going to start getting ready to move real soon. Already breaking that 590 mark. Market right now sitting at 405. Going to take a quick look at the market real fast to see what's happening while AMC is showing that negative beta. All right. Let me turn this camera on real quick. Please bear with me trying to get my my thing together here as far as how to multitask like this. So I give everybody credit who actually is multitasking and chart. There we go. I got the camera on. Cool. All right. Very good. 590 right now. AMC. SPY looks like it's going to go ahead and fail the 21 EMA break. I also have right now a, let's see, volume profile line here. Most likely it's not going to be able to break it right on the first try. It already failed on the 5-minute, the 21 EMA. And most likely it's going to go ahead and press back down to retest that 403.86 level where it bounced originally. So if it breaks out in the second try here, you can expect this thing to come back down to about 403, even possibly 402. So I'm looking at the price moving up while volume is starting to decrease. That's a clear indication that this thing is going to come back down. It's not over yet. And it's really interesting to see how AMC is moving upward, obviously, with the what's happening here with the earnings call coming tomorrow. Let's see. The excitement, obviously, is going to start building on this thing. And watching it go ahead opposite of what the SPY is doing is pretty dope. So let's keep a lookout on what's happening there. If anybody has any questions, any charts you want me to look over in the meantime, I'm going to start pulling different charts up, see what plays are out here available to take. Let's see here. I kind of put up Twitter at the same time to see what's happening on Twitter. All right, 408. Okay, 4489. All right, let's see what we're in right now. Yeah, here comes the press down on SPY. Watching AMC in the meantime. I expect a dump to start to happen momentarily. Right now, you can see I have different indicators that I'm using. RSI obviously is a staple. You also have your MACD as well. Crossover is about to take place with very positive, small positive volume coming in. Shaft trend cycle. Shaft trend cycle already showing green at this point, but looks like it's going to barrel back down shortly. As long as the volume can sustain itself, but there is some selling pressure coming in the SPY. If I were to go ahead and take any kind of plays at this point, I would be looking at puts most likely to somewhere around the 402, 403 mark, which could be 0 DTEs very easily, and those could print a few percent pretty easily Once I get the cross downs on these particular indicators, pretty much be lights out. Now I'm trying to figure out how to do a couple of things, so I'm not going to take the play as we speak until I get a little easier, a little better at navigating all these different moving pieces. But bear with me, and I appreciate you guys being here, going over this thing here with me. But we're about to make some money either way. If you're in some AMC calls right now, I'm holding five calls, which are up roughly about, let's take a look, 70%. And I'm in my $6 calls, which are right now up, let's see, on my other broker. $6 calls up 57% right now. All right, let's see what are the opportunities out here. All right, here we go with the break of 591 on AMC in the meantime. At the top of the Bollinger Band, so this is going to be a slight squeeze scenario. If we can go ahead and start to play out the 592 mark. If we can push through that, we can probably see the 595. Now you see I have this pink line, which represents the smooth moving average, which is going to be a very, very tough level to break. But if you do, 597 obviously is going to be next up on the list. I have them all marked out here, which are the biggest resistance areas. And you take a look, I'll go ahead and pull up one of my other favorite indicators here, which are the order blocks, which basically give us the idea of where liquidity stands and also where selling pressure stands. So I'll move into a higher time frame and get a better idea that way. And right now you can see we are technically in a squeeze scenario, meaning that the 30-minute Bollinger Band has been broken. So things should start moving here slowly. SPY is also kind of finding some support here, roughly around that 555 area, and has now broken the 21 EMA on the 5-minute chart. So things are actually looking pretty positive for a reversal here for some reason. I know we have the Apple earnings coming up later today, which should be pretty big. And if things continue to move in this direction, look out, we may get a little bit of a reversal. You see GME actually making some huge movement as well, up now 2.71%, hitting a little bit of resistance here in a few different order blocks. They're trying to protect this thing from moving forward. Obviously, we were able to get that bounce off of the gap fill the other day, which is huge. I did go and enter some calls here for June 2nd as my calls set up there. And right now, I'm still down a little bit on the position, but I don't have any fear of this moving forward within a month. Obviously, they're in a great position, showing positive EPS, things like that. We're also starting to show that there is a breakout on the macro downtrend that's been there for quite a while. So this thing's looking good. I have the optimal price right now sitting at 1967 before we start to see any resistance. So if you got in calls the other day for about the $20 strike, you should be doing real well. That was one of the easiest plays to make after that gap fill here down at the 1808, 1830 area. You should be seeing real pretty if you had weeklies up to the $20 mark. So just remember to take your profits if you're in that position. There we go. SPY is reversing here. I'm going to pull up Apple just in case. Let's see what's happening with Apple here, because I wrote on Twitter last night that Apple is probably one of the main areas or main stocks that can probably continue to carry the market, even though it's in a situation where things are not looking too great or too hot here with what's happening with the banks. And we know Apple is being the flight to safety for a lot of different companies, a lot of different investors. Apple is usually a safe haven just in order for them to put their money, just like a situation like gold or gold stocks or things like that. So Apple's not doing too hot at the moment. It's a little loud. All right, lower that volume a little bit. Okay. All right. Let's see. 1937. All right. Looks like on the 1 hour, Apple did get that double bounce off of the smooth moving average, which is somewhere about 164. Played out well off of the type 2 reaction off this bearish crab pattern, and now it looks like as if we are heading right towards the top here at 167.38. I'm actually probably going to go ahead and pick up some calls right now at the moment, right, being that the SPY looks like it's turning around. I might actually go ahead and grab a few calls real quick for 167s. Let's double check and see what a good entry point would be. Market's starting to turn around, showing some strength in a positive direction. Let's check Apple. Waiting for AMC to do its thing. Let's see if we can make a little money in the meantime, huh? Why the hell not? Doesn't look too good yet. I'm going to actually have to wait on Apple. Looks like I got the... This looks like it's about at the top of its trajectory. Volume starting to fade off. I'm in a little bit of resistance here with the order block. Shows that there's a lot of selling pressure happening in this area. I could expect this thing to most likely come down, most likely somewhere to about the 166.40 area, slightly lower possibly if it does break the 90 MA on the 1 minute chart. I can see that it'll come down a little bit. So before I enter, I'm going to wait for this thing to actually turn around. Looking at the MACD, I can see the MACD is now showing on the histogram that the buying pressure is actually starting to wane. I also have the Wyckoff trend oscillator showing flashing green on the 1 minute chart. So I'm expecting this to come down for a better entry, but I'm looking to most likely go on the 167 calls for tomorrow's date. Those should actually do pretty good, but it looks like it's starting to kick in a little bit more pressure, but not going to go ahead and take it just yet because I don't think this is going to last. There's huge areas of resistance up here. And I would like a better entry before doing anything. So we'll see. As AMC once again taking a look here, looks already as if it's bounced its head off the 595 mark, which I believe was the smooth moving average of the 8-hour chart, if I'm not mistaken. And we are getting dangerously close to the top of the descending broadening wedge on the daily chart. A break here. We've already gotten our crosses, 1348, as well as the 921 cross, and now just playing outside of the Bollinger Bands, which is typically a short. So you got to be really careful at AMC. If you are in any calls or any options at all, you want to be very careful at this particular range because it's in a situation where they're most likely going to want to push it back, but it can run. What I see here also is that we have this huge area right above where I have my descending broadening wedge top, which is this yellow bar. It's showing that we have this resistance here. A lot of selling pressure is going to be in position, so that area is going to be a huge area of resistance. Obviously, there's a couple other different resistances, EMAs and SMAs here as well, roughly around the 688 mark, as well as the 621 mark. So I posted on Twitter earlier. If you're following me, you probably noticed that I mentioned that 635 would probably be right where we start to see some kind of volatility, most likely possibly a halt. So you got to be really careful. If you're in any options, like I said before, make sure you're taking your profits on the way up just to not run into any issues and let a green trade start to turn red on you, because it can happen really quickly. We've seen it happen time and time again with AMC. And yeah, don't fall into that trap. You know what I mean? Hey, what's going on, man? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back. I think this is New Age, right? All right. First time doing this thing, man. Let's see how this live stream happens. If I can go ahead and manage my portfolio at the same time, try to discuss what I'm seeing here on the charts, because I'm already hyped up for this AMC move. You know, I just want to make sure this thing goes well, and whoever's in it too get the best of it. You know. Yeah, SPY's not looking too good. SPY it's got a reversal point. It did hold a 404 mark that I was looking for it to reverse on. I had this line here for weeks already, and it bounced exactly off of my 403.86 mark. I mean, to the T. Bounced right off of it, and now we're starting to play the upside. However, we are bouncing. This is the 5-minute chart. However, we are starting to bounce off of the 50 moving average, which is going to be one of the biggest tests here before it starts coming back down. If it comes back down here and breaks the 21 moving average, expect this thing to come back down to about 403. That would probably be the key area to dump this thing. And I'm still waiting for an opportunity to get into Apple, and it's doing exactly what I expected it to do. It broke down from that area, being that it hit this order block, and I'm expecting it to come back down to somewhere around 165. And I may potentially get into some really, really short-dated calls, a quick scalp to move in. But I got to pay close attention to what's happening with the SPY, because if the SPY continues to come down, most likely Apple's going to come down with it. The only thing is that the SPY, Apple's got its earnings today. So if Apple, shows some signs of positivity, it can pretty much hold the SPY up for a little bit of time before things get crazy. But right now, I know the banks are pretty much dumping, and I don't see it continuing to stay where it's at much longer. But 404 is a huge mark to keep. 403 is even bigger, and if it does come down, I'm moving to the daily. I also posted this on Twitter as well, that we're in this broadening top pattern, which has basically played its part already. And most likely, this thing is going to come back down if it doesn't hold 403. You can look at 395, 399, somewhere around there very, very quickly. I have right now 402 is the 50 moving average. And yeah, that will most likely be somewhere around 403, 402. Lose that and forget about it. This thing is starting to take that ride down to the depths. So keep a lookout for that. All right, let's take a look at you, Apple. Apple's right now on the 5-minute is now holding the 200 moving average on the 5-minute chart. I had an ABCDE pattern. It looks like it does want to go back to test. Actually, it already tested it this morning. tested that 165.81 area. It's losing to 200 right now, so I'm expecting possibly to come back down somewhere to the 9 EMA on the 5-minute chart. But I definitely want to catch this here. I missed the move this morning. I typically don't like to take these kind of calls early on. I try to wait till roughly about 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, SPY is really starting to tumble now. And if it looks like it's actually starting to hold that 21 EMA, it's really fighting for it. If it holds that 21 EMA, it may potentially even start to get a cross up on the 921. Yeah, on 921. That may give us a little bit of juice to get up to about 407. But volume is steadily decreasing. I mentioned volume pretty much precedes everything. And if volume is decreasing while the price is going up, that basically will put us in a rising wedge situation where this will break, come down, and most likely retest the last point of support, which is most likely going to fail, and we'll start to hit that 403, 402 mark, which I have down here marked in purple. So if you're playing puts, that was a great opportunity to get in right there at that failed 50 moving average, and now you should be pretty green. But right now, it's anybody's call at this